Uber and Lyft drivers in San Francisco, it's over. Waymo is now taking the most profitable rides. What up, internet world? It's your boy Jermaine, back with another video. This video is not a positive video. We're gonna talk about how Uber and Lyft drivers, how really the game is over. I was talking to some drivers at the EV charger yesterday, and people were saying that I don't know what's going on, but everything is much lower. Drivers are talking about how they're making about 50% less money than they were making like 3 months ago. Like, this is real, guys. And let's just talk about how Waymo is taking the most profitable trips, because you may not know how like Waymo is taking the most profitable trips, and you may not even know what the most profitable trips are, but let's just talk about it in this video. So first off, if you're driving in San Francisco, if you're in the Bay Area, a lot of people like to drive in the city because there's a lot of rides in the city. You got the financial district, you got Soma, you got Mission District, you got the Marina, you got so many different neighborhoods where people need rides to and from this area and that area. However, all of those areas that I just named are all in San Francisco. And if you're a driver, those are some of the most popular areas to drive, and those are some of the most profitable areas to drive. For example, if you're in the financial district and you pick someone up, and let's just say they want to go to Soma, it might take you 2 minutes to pick them up, and then it might take you 13 minutes to drop them off. When you drop them off, you get $9. When you drop them off, you already have another request, and that other request is 2 minutes away in Soma, and now you're going to Union Square. And then you drop that person off. It's a 10-minute ride. You get $8. You pick someone else up from Union Square. They want to go to Embarcadero. These are profitable rides. You're making decent amount of money. You're getting wait time, and you're also not driving that much. You're not driving that many miles, okay? Keywords. You're not driving that many miles, okay? So you as a driver, you have less dead miles on these offers, okay? Now, what are rides that are not as profitable? What are rides that have a lot of dead miles? These are long trips. Now, most Uber drivers don't like to do long trips. For example, if I'm driving in the morning and if Uber wants me to go to the airport, I say to myself, I need like $30, right? Otherwise, I'm just not going to go. Like, I've got to the point now where at certain times, I'll go to the airport for $25. But there's a lot of times where if it's not $25, I'm just simply not going to the airport, because they're going to give me $25 to drive all the way to the airport. Now, if I pick someone up from the airport and they want to come back and they give me another $25, we're golden. But majority of the time, it doesn't work that way. Majority of the time, they give you the $25, they drop you off there, you drop them off there, and then you have to drive back. So it's 14 miles there and it's 14 miles back. So that's a total of 28 miles, and you've made $25 if they even gave you $25. Because a lot of airport rides are like less than 20 nowadays. $20, $14, $15, which is just simply absurd. So if you don't want dead miles, basically you just don't go to the airport. But on the flip side, Waymo can't get on the freeway as of now. Waymo has already got the green light to operate at SFO. So they've been testing on the freeway, but once again, they just haven't started picking people up and dropping people off at the airport. And when this happens, you're going to have tourists flying to San Francisco. They're going to get picked up by Waymo at the airport. They're going to get dropped off in the city. Their weekend in San Francisco, they're going to be driven around by a Waymo, no human driver. And then when they get ready to go back to the airport, they're going to get picked up by a Waymo, and Waymo's going to drop them off at the airport. And that's going to be that on that. And look at all the human riders or the human drivers that was just X out of a job. Because when people come to San Francisco for a weekend or for 5 days, 6 days, they take a lot of Ubers. And now all of that is just going to go to Waymo, which is just kind of insane to think about. Like, this is happening fast, yo. So if you're a driver in the Bay Area, you may have noticed that if you're driving in San Francisco, there are certain times when you drive, it's really slow. So for example, I used to always drive after lunch. So from like 12 to like 3, I would go out and drive Uber. And about, let's just say last year, I would go out and drive these hours. These are dead hours. These are in the middle of the day. But I would still make money during those hours, just because a lot of drivers are not driving during those hours. It's also kind of hot because the sun's right above you. And it's not rush hour. People are still at work. It's not the weekend. So it's not really that busy to drive. Okay. Then I've noticed now when I go out and try to drive between 12 and 3 in the middle of the day, Monday through Friday, well, it's dead. Like, I may not even make $10 an hour on average, just because there's so many Waymos on the road. Now, when people try a Waymo, people love Waymo. I know so many people, the first time they tried a Waymo, they're always gonna prioritize Waymo before Uber. And if Waymo takes too long, if they're in a hurry, yeah, they'll take an Uber. But for the most part, I know people that'll show up late to take Waymo, not to get in a car with an Uber driver, which this is already happening in San Francisco, bro. So another reason that makes Waymo super dead in the daytime is because over time, since Waymo has been in service, more and more people have been learning about Waymo. And more people right now, today, are starting to opt more for Waymo. So now, if you go out in the middle of the day, it's much harder to get rides, because people that want rides know about Waymo now. And they know, oh, it's not rush hour. Oh, it's easy to get a Waymo at 1 o'clock. Oh, it's easy to get a Waymo at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, that is what's happening. So to make money with Uber now, you basically have to go out during the peak hours. Okay? And the peak hours used to be 4 hours. Now them peak hours are like 3 hours, right? You got to go out when it's high demand. Because when it's high demand, that's when robo-taxis really can't service that demand. But in the middle of the day when it's dead, in the middle of the night, right? Because I know drivers that drive late at night and they say, man, it'd be so slow late at night. And the reason why it's so slow, because it's not peak hours. If it's not peak hours, people that want Waymo, they can easily take a Waymo. They can easily go on the app and it's like, 7 minutes, 5 minutes. So basically, this is really what's going on in the city now. And I've been hearing this rumor that Zoox that make that really, really cool robo-taxi with no steering wheel and no pedals. I've been hearing rumors that they are going to launch next month in San Francisco. And this is October. When they launch, it's going to be much bigger than the Waymo launch. Because Waymo is using Jaguars with all the cameras on top and with the steering wheel and the pedals. Zoox is literally have a brand new type of vehicle, and people are going to want to ride in that, yo. People are going to want to take a selfie in front of that. People are going to want to make videos of them getting into the Zoox robo-taxi and them riding off in that. And Waymo's going to be old school. Waymo does look cool, how you can sit in the passenger seat and you can look over and you can see the steering wheel spinning. But come on, bro. You don't need a steering wheel in a car if the car is driving by itself. You don't need the pedals in the car if the car is driving by itself. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before Zoox come out. And when Zoox come out, it's really game over, bro. It is really game over. Because who knows how many cars they're going to put out? Okay? Who knows how many cars they're going to put out? Waymo don't even have that many cars in the city, and they are already making a massive dent. Another thing about Waymo that people are forgetting about, this is Waymo and Zoox. As a Uber driver, you can only drive 12 hours. Okay? And I know so many people, you can't even hit the 12 hours. Okay? You can only drive 12 hours. There's online hours and there's active hours. So the online hours is 12 hours. Active hours is, there's no way you would be online for 12 hours and you would hit active hours of 12 hours. Not in San Francisco. It is way too dead now. If you don't know the difference between active hours and online hours, basically online hours is if you go onto the app and you're waiting in your car and you have the app on. That counts as you're online. Active hours count when you're just sitting online and you accept the trip. So when you accept the trip, when you press the button, and it says 2 minutes to pick up, that's count as the active hours. Then you're outside the customer's house, that's still counted as active hours. Then when you pick the person up, like when the person get in the car and you swipe start, that's still active hours. And then when the person gets out of the car and you swipe end trip, you are ending the active hours. So most Uber drivers, when they look at their statements now, they see that the active hours is way less than the actual online hours. And I remember just a year ago, those active hours and those online hours were very, very close, because as soon as you went online, you're accepting a trip and you're driving to pick someone up. So you're always in the active hours. With Waymo and Zoox, they're not going to have to worry about active hours and online hours. They're not going to have to worry about acceptance rating. Okay. They're not going to have to worry about any of these things. The Waymo can drive all day, bro. Like, for real, Waymo can drive all day, like on a charge. Zoox is going to have an even bigger battery. I think they said Zoox is going to have like a 200 kilowatt battery. Bro, Zoox could literally ride probably 2 days without charging. You know, especially if it's not getting on the freeway. And I think it's only going to go up to 25 miles an hour. I mean, a 200 kilowatt battery, that is massive. Like a Chevy Bolt and like a Tesla Model 3, you're talking about like a 65 watt hour battery, much smaller battery. So Zoox gonna have a big battery like that. Man, that thing can be driving for days, bro. Like for days. And that is what we're up against, dude. That's what we're literally up against, robots. Like this ain't a good situation to be in, yo. This is not a good situation to be in. So who else can make money right now while all this is just burning down, right? Like who else can seriously make money? I'm just gonna tell y'all right now. The people I can see that can make money with Uber right now are going to be women, okay? They're going to be women. Yeah. Them the people I see that are making money. You talk to a woman driver, talk to them. They are making money, bro. I was talking to a woman earlier today. I was like, hey, is Uber busy for you? Is Uber busy? And she said, yeah, it's real busy. Every time someone get out the car, someone else getting in the car. And the reason why that is because some people might say that this is discriminatory, like Uber's discriminating against male drivers. Some people will say it's not discriminatory. I guess it really depends on your political stance, you know. But at the end of the day, some people say that it's wrong that now Uber is allowing women to get picked up by women drivers, but males don't have that same option, right? I don't think most guys would even trip. Like, I don't think that most guys would be like, yeah, I want to get picked up by a guy. I don't want a girl driving me. But on the flip side, there are women out there that would rather, you know, get picked up by a woman and get dropped off, and they would feel safer, especially if you're getting picked up late at night and stuff like that. So if you're a woman and you don't have a Uber account, if you want to make some money with Uber, you could probably make a little bit of money, right? I wouldn't recommend you buying a car to do Uber, and I wouldn't recommend anyone to buy a car to do Uber. I'm going to say this one more time. I would not recommend anyone to buy a car doing Uber, okay? Umar Johnson, let me say it one more time, 3 times. I will not recommend anyone to buy a car doing Uber, like for real, especially a new car. If you get a used car, that's different. But a brand new car, please don't do that. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Because the way things are going right now, that is not a good idea. So for y'all women drivers that trying to make a bag, y'all trying to make some money off of the guys that can't pick up these women riders anymore, what y'all do is you sign up for Uber. You can use my link if you want. I'll have a link in the bottom. But you sign up with Uber. When you sign up with Uber, let's say you don't want to use your car, or let's just say you ain't got a car. What you can do is you can rent a car through Avis, through Hertz. You can rent a car and do Uber. And that way you ain't just locked into it. You know, because if you go out and buy a car, you're going to be kind of locked into it. But if you go rent a car and you rent a car by the week, you know what you can do? You can easily quit and turn the rental car back in and go do something else. You know, if things start getting slow, if you start seeing 1,000 Waymos out, if you start to pull up to intersections and you see nothing but autonomous cars, and then now you notice, oh, I'm not making that much money anymore, you can just turn that rental car back in. Or you can just rent the car for a week, you know, on a busy week, turn the car back in, wait till it's busy again, rent the car again for a week, or you can just drive randomly, you know, because like I say, when it's really busy, Waymo is going to be maxed out, basically. When there's too much traffic on the roads, Waymo's gonna be maxed out. Like 2 days ago, it was an event here in the city, Monday. It was busy, bro. Like, I was making money. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow, this is like a normal day. But then look around, there's so many people in the city. There's so much traffic in the city. You get on you try to take someone to the airport, and it's just nothing but traffic. That's why I don't like to do the airports, especially on a busy day. Like, why go to the airport on a busy day? You can make all your money downtown in Soma without getting on the freeway, without going to the airport. So why even go to the airport on a busy day? Yeah, I don't know. I'm just talking about what's going on with Uber and Lyft now. It's scary, yo. Like, it is scary. It's happening. Riders love it, though. Riders love it. I don't know where this is going. What do y'all think about this? Are y'all freaking out? Are y'all getting nervous? Are y'all thinking about getting a job at McDonald's? Because I was talking to one Uber driver. He said that he applied for a job at McDonald's. And I was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah, you can move up. I'm like, maybe I could become manager. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. You could maybe become manager. But I'm telling y'all, people are getting desperate out here. Like, people are for real getting desperate. Things are slowing down. Let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, because this is crazy, like how this is unfolding. This is happening fast. And this is real life. But for now, we out. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and peace out, yo. Ow!